Hey folks, Zach Murray here. Welcome to the Murray Homestead. And today we're going to be doing a best work jean ever review. And these are specifically for FR jeans, or like FRC. I've been working in the oil field for over a decade. Thank you. I've been working in the oil field for over a decade. And most of that was over in like Midland, Texas, where it's crazy hot. And they don't care if it's hot, cold, whatever, you have to wear FRCs. Fire resistant clothing has come a long way in the last several years. It used to be notoriously thick, you know, like wearing cardboard, and insanely hot. We've come a long way now that we got synthetic fire resistant materials. But unless you know which pair of jeans to get, you're gonna get scammed over and over again, basically. And they are still wicked hot because you still are wearing jeans and you're working outside when it's 100 degrees for 12 hours a day. So these specific jeans here, I've tried about 10 different brands and models, I guess you could call them, of FR jeans. And these are hands down by far the best, like times 50 in my opinion. They're Ariats. Ariat has no idea who I am, so obviously this is not sponsored. And I'm not an Ariat fanboy, even though I'm doubled up today. I actually dislike their boots. So I will say that, they are trash. So these specific jeans, and I'll link, if anything, I don't think I could find them on Amazon, I'll try. But for sure, I'll link to the Ariat website. These particular jeans are called the FR-M7 Slim Duralight, keyword, stretch basic straight jean. That is a mouthful. But I'll show you why I think the M7s are the best, especially if you're a leaner type of guy. And the Duralight, that is the key word here. So this particular color is called SHANIKO, Shaniko. These jeans are babies. These jeans are Cat 2, NFPA 70E, NFPA 22112. And they're rated for 14 cal per centimeter squared. So if that meets your job site requirements, which is the majority of them, especially if you're not like an electrician or something, that'll work for you. Let me show you what these look like real quick. So this particular pair is well over a year old, and I work in them all the time, okay? So these have been worn, worked in, and washed, I don't want to lie to you, but a bare minimum of 50 times. And if you see, the fabric still is nice and smooth. Okay, with a lot of these stretch type jeans, the knees will get blown out because they stretch during the day and they don't shrink back. So these actually lay pretty flat. The color obviously has faded a tiny bit, but hardly at all. So they hold the color really well. You can see the button is actually like encased in here, and there's zero fraying or whatever. And they have a nice zipper as well. And again, zero issues with the zipper or the buttons. The pockets, they're not like quadruple super stitched and stuff like some other jeans claim to. But you can see, and I wear a pocket knife every day. I'll show you that here in a minute. There's zero fraying on any of the pockets. And I have 7 pair of these, all right? So this is not like the golden pair. I literally just pulled these out the closet. And they're not even ironed. All right, and then you can see the belt loops here. They're pretty good sized, but I've seen on some other FR jeans, they kind of go crazy with it. And you got this extra long loop, so I think that's about right. And they're supposed to be anchored, which I mean, I don't see any like double stitching on there. I see actually one row, but I have had zero issue with any of these belt loops. They've held up very, very well. On the back pockets, again, with a lot of these FR jeans, you get these crazy stitching. And if you like to wear like bedazzled belts and stuff like that, that's cool. But you're on a job site with predominantly guys, and I'm not really too worried about the stitching on my butt cheeks. So I like that these are pretty plain. And you can see between working, and then, sitting on concrete jersey barriers and all that stuff, you can see I'm barely, I mean, I'm being picky at this point, but just barely getting any sort of fraying whatsoever, and that's just on the tips of the pockets. But otherwise, they've held up very well. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll show you what they look like on and why I recommend this make and model so adamantly. So you can see they're a nice straight cut, but they go over your boots very well. These are 69% cotton, nice. 30% mod acrylic, and that's that FR material, and then 1% spandex. Like I said, I've had a lot of problem with the new stretchy type jeans where the knees like kind of blow out and they don't ever go back. But you can see these still look, excuse me, basically brand new. They fit really well around the waist. I have extra large hands for glove size, and you can see the pocket fits in nice and deep, but again, they don't go crazy like some other ones. And that is what they look like. I like these so much, and the number one reason why I'm making this video is because of the Duralight thing and the fit, to be honest. So these are a pair of Ariat M4s, okay? These are, and they're the same size. These are 100% cotton. So that's one thing. So they're not gonna breathe as well, and they're not gonna dry out as well. I don't know about you, but by the time I go to lunch, I'm soaking wet. So sitting around with soggy bottom all day repeatedly is extremely uncomfortable. So the fact that these synthetic ones dry out, very important. But you can see in comparison how thick this fabric is. And you can say, okay, that's great. It's gonna make them extra durable. I've not had a single pair get a tear or rip in these M7s. And for specifications here, these here are 13 ounce, the M4s, the one that I don't like, 13 ounce, 100% cotton. These are 11 ounce synthetic. So they are significantly lighter, thinner, which is kind of the whole point why I'm making the video, and they breathe better, and they dry out better. Because they're light and they have the 1% spandex, when you bend down, I've had several pair of 100% cotton jeans, especially on your thighs, they want to catch, and when you bend down, that's when you rip the knee. Or when you squat or bend over, that's when you can rip the crotch. That little 1% stretch and the fact that the fabric is so light, I do like all kinds of physical stuff on the job site, and I work with predominantly double braided stainless steel hoses, and I'm dragging those things across rocks and across my pants and stuff, and I've yet to have them fray or tear. Another big thing, excuse me, is that these M7s, when you go to any of the FR type stores, they can be surprisingly hard to find. I don't really know why, and most all folks on the job site will wear these M4s. You go to the store, this is basically what you get. I never liked those, and I'm about to show you what those look like when I put them on. If you're about my age, you remember Jinkos in like elementary school? Those M4s are so baggy, it's crazy. And I am kind of tall, I'm only 6'2", but I'm also about just under 220 pounds. So I'm not super tall or super skinny. And even with that, I still have plenty of legroom here, and these are by no means like skinny jeans whatsoever, even though they're called slim. And I think that's what turns off a lot of people. I spent my own money and I ordered one pair off Ariat.com, and I liked them so much more that I spent my own money to buy a whole new set to replace the old ones that my company provided. So I'll throw those M4s on for you real quick, and you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so these are the M4s that I used to wear all the time. And again, it's not like it's horrible, but in my opinion, these are extremely baggy. You can see here, on the, you know, from the knee down. And then even here, look at all that extra, oh, and the hips too. Maybe for an extra heavy guy, again, I'm about 220 pounds, so I'm thin, but I'm by like no means like a small person. If you're, I'll just say kind of fat, slightly overweight, these might work better for you, but for the most part, your calves are going to still have all that extra fabric there. So I never really liked the look or feel of these, and they are insanely hot because they're 100% cotton, and the material itself is even thicker. But they have the exact same FR rating, like NFPA and all that stuff. So in my opinion, M7's for the win, hands down. I don't feel like changing again, so I'll do the rest of the video in these, but we're inside, so it's all good. All right, so I got these off of Ariat.com. Just Google it or type it in. Again, they have no idea who I am. I wish they did, but because they're not very cheap, right? So your company, if you're in the oil field, should buy you about 7 pairs a year. That's kind of the general rule of thumb. Or if you're a contractor, you know, you got to get your own. If you are a veteran though, they do have a 10% discount for military and first responders. I really like that. Honestly, most any company that doesn't have that anymore, I won't even waste my money on them. I feel it's just disrespectful. So they do have a 10% discount. And if you make a little account, which again is free and takes whatever, 1 minute, you also get free shipping. So pretty cool. That being said, the MSRP price for these are $124.95. These M4s are generally about 100 to 120, depending on where you get them. So these M7 Duralights are a tiny bit more expensive, but I would borderline literally pay like 200, 250 bucks a pair. When you're on a job site all day, especially when you're out there for 2 weeks at a time, that, I'll just call it swamp butt, really adds up and can really add to fatigue and just make the job site kind of suck, you know? So a good pair of boots, I'm doing a video on these next. A good pair of boots and good pair of jeans is a really good way to get started, to being able to just focus on your work and not just be miserable on the job site all the time. Little tangent here, just in case you don't know. There's a lot of myths and misconceptions about FR clothing, especially for any of this newer synthetic stuff. You can wash them 100 times and they still are going to be FR, okay? But you need to, this is what from the manufacturer, how they recommend to wash them and dry them, right? You zip up the zipper and button the button and then turn the pants inside out. You should technically do that with any jeans, but with FR jeans especially, you're gonna wash them with hot water with no bleach and no fabric softener. And when they're done being dry, do not starch them. The starch can severely affect the fire resistance properties. You want to dry them on low or permanent press. Again, if you dry them on extra hot, it can affect the fire resistance of the clothing itself. And for these Ariat M7s at least, the manufacturer says that dry cleaning is okay. So that's important to keep them going. Going back again to the price, right? For standard M4 13 ounce 100% cotton FRs, they're generally rated, and this is from the manufacturer, for 12 to 16 months of use and fire resistance effectiveness, all right? For these synthetic blends though, they're rated for 2.5 to 4 years. So that can be almost 4 times as long. So if you're paying 10, 15% more for the pair of jeans, but you get way more comfort and then they last longer, it's a win-win in my situation. Again, I want to make this video because it is summertime, and for years I was miserable on job sites, just like many other guys, because it's freaking hot and it's sandy and it's dusty and you're working your butt off, right? So if you can breathe a little bit better and be a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more lightweight, who would not do that? I think that's about it. So if y'all have any comments or suggestions or anything like that, let me know. But I want to keep on having more content like this. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a boot review next, because just like the pants, I've wasted probably thousands of dollars on work boots. I have found a pair that I've had for almost 3 years now, and I've never had a pair of work boots last more than 1 year on the job site. So we'll be having more videos like this coming out because I want to save y'all money and make y'all comfortable if I can at all. So please subscribe, comment, hit the stupid little bell, and thank y'all for stopping by. Love you.